Yes, I could. So we'll see what happens with that.
All right. Yeah, I see. It says recording.
Yeah. Ooh, too bad I didn't do that from the beginning, but hopefully we'll have that on the Facebook one. It says now waiting for live video. Okay. Well, you know what?
That's better than waiting for a dead video.
Yeah, because, you know, I find that the dead videos are not as popular as they used to be.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, but Deb, let's do this so that, you know,
Yeah.
since we get a full video with the repeated one from Zoom, and they just heard us warming up, and I'm not going to worry about editing that out. So let's start all over. Okay. Today, I am joined by my cherished and good friend, Deb Joy, and I chose her last name, Hart. And we'll put our foot on the gas, GAS, Glue Alphabet Series, as each message will feature the next letter in the alphabet. That's what I've been doing here on Glue Friday now, because I started out with Glue Wednesday, and so now we're doing Glue Monday, Glue Wednesday, and Glue Friday. So we're in the alphabet series where people give me a word beginning with the theme letter for the next meeting. They put that in the thread, and then I try to work those words into the message. So these H words come from the people who watched on the G broadcast. Now that's not G as in PG-13, okay? That was the G, yeah, that was the G broadcast. And so your H words are going to be help, hurt, hostile, hospitality, hope, which 3 people gave me, humble, how, harmony, hi, and hello. Now they will be shared through our message of today, which is heart, health, and humor. And Deb and I have each prepared a message for all 3 of those H's, which we will touch on one at a time. My feature poem today will be Controlling Angels. And if you'd like to get a word in with the next message, I'll be inviting you to add that into the thread. Meanwhile, if you'd like a free copy of the featured poem, then you're going to just email me at unclesporty@gmail.com. But before we get into the poem, let me say hello to Deb and introduce my wonderful guest. Hey, Deb.
Hey. Wait, I can say howdy. I have harmony. Hello, hi. And you know what, Sporty? You provide hospitality like no other, and you always give me hope. There you go. I think I'm done.
Yeah, done and record. You know what? But that's a beautiful thing what you just did, Deb. But you know, a teachable moment we have during these broadcasts, what I love to do is show people how to use the formula. See, those H's that people gave us, I call that a word bank. When you're going to write a poem, an essay, a report for school, a business letter, anything, what you do is you can take the most important words that you want to make sure you get into whatever you're writing. So you can take the theme of what you're writing, put those words to the side, and when you get stuck for what you want to put in, you go to your bank. What do you do in a bank?
What do you make a withdrawal or you make a deposit?
Boom! All right. So the words that you've deposited, now you can withdraw and create your message.
That's
and so that's what Deb just did. And so Deb, let me ask you this question more poignantly now. How did you, without giving away your full message, how did you prepare, to weave those H's into our message today?
Well, what I like to do are things that remind me of certain words. And to get me in the spirit of it all, I found this humorous t-shirt. I have my heart earrings on, and I have chocolate for heart, for healthy.
Okay.
And I have my coffee, and that's really how I get in the spirit of everything. Coffee is my spiritual connector.
And there's an H in coffee because that's Havana.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I did not know that.
Me neither. But it seems like I remember a commercial where coffee is grown in Havana.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah, that's another thing about the formula, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to use the specific words, but they can bring you a memory of another word that you can use that may not begin with your theme letter, but at least it connects you to something.
Exactly. And it's all about connecting and creativity.
Yes.
So those are really C words. I know you'll forgive me.
Yeah.
But that's really what I feel like it's been working with you. It's a connection. It spurs creativity. And when you're being creative, you're activating those parts of your brain, and that helps you feel better, which leads us to feeling healthy.
Yeah, and you know what, the letter C is one of the flirts in the alphabet. It connects with a lot of words. Even it connects with the H, because you hear choosing, choices, channel, you know, children. So it's okay that you use C words. C, the letter C is a flirt. It goes with a lot of other words, a lot of other letters in the alphabet.
It's a flirt. Whoever thought a C word is a flirt? But now I'm going to remember this, and I'll say something to my husband about it. Wow, you know what I learned today? He'll go, you're always a flirt. You're a D word. That's Deb.
Yeah, so. And divine. Okay, and Deb is also short for debutante, which means classy, which is another C word that goes with an L, which is for love. And you see, yeah, oh my goodness.
You know what, Sporty? No one's ever used my name and classy in the same sentence. So I want to thank you for that. That means a lot.
Yeah, wait, well, they may have used your name with the and classy in the same sentence, but the connecting word is what was it Deb is classy?
You're on to something, my man.
Okay. Well, I used a 4-3-3 formula for my message today, where I used 4 of the volunteer words in my message about heart, 3 of the words I'm going to use in health, and the other 3 I'm going to use in humor. So those are 2 optional ways that you can use the formula. Mm-hmm. Okay, but meanwhile, I chose to open with this poem called Controlling Angels, because I think it's important for us to consider that our toughest choices are not between good and evil. Okay, and so actually, I think I wrote that down, but I actually meant to read the poem first. So let me do that. So that you can see. But now you got a spoiler alert that I want you to be listening for in this poem. Yeah, our tough choices are not between good and evil. Our tough choices are between good and good. You know, so this is called Controlling Angels. And it's from my book, I Found Out I'm Dying, A Celebration of Life. And here's how I introduced the poem. You've heard the saying, an angel on one shoulder, a devil on the other. My belief is that we have an angel on each shoulder. I just don't always know which one to follow, because our hard choices in life are not between good and evil, but between good and good. So, controlling angels. As one angel begged me to follow the right path, the other urged me down the left. Either presented me with a lining of gold. Each had a method to its blessing. Both knew when they had my attention. As important as it is to control your angels, it is equally crucial that you walk the path on the correct side, no matter what side that be. And so, like I said, I chose that because it's important for us to recognize and consider that our tough choices are not between good and bad, good and evil, but between good and good. You see, it's pretty easy to choose to avoid something that will cause you pain. You know, do I want to sit on the hot stove or the cool chair? That's not a tough choice. What gives us greater pause is choosing between comforting options. Do I want the hot tub or the warm massage? That's a tough choice. So today, you get messages from 2 angels, and the choice we hope you'll make is to be the next angel. So, Deb, what we're going to do, we've already told how we made our formulas. So And part of your formula is also from your T-shirt, right? What does it say again?
It says, I found this humorous.
All right. And my
As in the bones in your body.
And my H is coming to you straight where? Straight out of Harlem.
Yeah.
My hometown. And those of you who have the same T-shirt from my hometown, on the back it has all the streets, the avenues that we grew up on that are throughout Harlem. So again, it's sparking a memory for me. So that's humorous great. In Harlem. And so Deb, you're first up with your heart message.
My heart message, as in my heart, what I want to say, and using the words that are right here, is from your heart, you have humility, you have humbleness, and in your heart, you have hope. That's where it starts from. And what do I mean by a lot of this? Especially in these days, you get so much conflicting information that how are you going to integrate that? I know that's an I for next week, but how do you integrate all that information and still stay centered? And you can stay centered with hope. And hope doesn't mean, oh, I hope I, become an artist after this, all these weeks of quarantine. Hope is more, it's gentler than that. It's not as extreme. And coming from my heart, that's where you want to have hope. You want to have hope as you go forward, that you will find peace. You want to have hope that you find love within yourself. It's not love outside of yourself. It's love within yourself. You want to find hope that you can make sense of all this and find the goodness in what's going on. And that's what comes from your heart.
Great. And see, you know what? It's almost going to look like we staged this because I decided to start my heart message off with the word hope. So passing on the hope. And you know what's beautiful? Again, people, this is the kind of stuff you get conscious of. Deb just gave us hope 3 different times. 3 people gave us the word hope. Were you conscious of that?
No.
See, that's the other beauty of the word bank.
That's right.
Yeah.
And also it's the beauty of consciousness, where when you get in the flow of things, you don't realize how many goals you make, right? You're just doing it. And go ahead, Sporty. I don't want to take away because I can't wait to hear your heart message.
Yeah, but you're right. You have to, when you get in the flow, you have to trust yourself. One of the questions you ask, how are we getting along? Well, we have to trust ourselves right now. That's really important. And so with my hope, first of all, you naturally, me with my Ac-Firmation. It's one of my Ac-Firmations, hope, H-O-P-E, having overpowered evil. Having overpowered evil. See, we can handle any problem one-on-one. It's when the problems mount and they all come at the same time that we feel that little bit where we want to back off and we're feeling somewhat helpless. But, when we look at our track record, and those are the things that you just really talked about, Deb, you have to trust your track record. Your track record says that the things that you thought you couldn't overcome before, guess what? You overcame them. So they now become something that you can laugh at, which I said to laugh at your lack record, because you thought you lacked what it took to get over this storm, that storm, and you got over it. So trust your track record. And that's why hope, having overpowered evil. You can beat anything and we will beat this. How? Well, with humility. Humble, yet understand your gift and blessing and then share it with people. See, being humble doesn't mean going behind and hiding as the Bible says, why would I give you a gift and have you hide it behind a bush? Being humble means understanding your gift and your blessing and then sharing it. I was talking to a friend of mine today, Katrina, And as we talk, you know, she said something, and I said, well, look, I said, my message today is going to be an H. And she actually ended up giving me another H through our conversation, and that is history. Because what I said to her is, I said, imagine what our ancestors went through, you know, as we look at what we're dealing with now. And I'm talking about ancestors of all people. Everybody's ancestor had to stay positive and humble enough to say, I will take this suffering for my blessing to be a conscious contributor to my legacy and his story. So we're going through what God has put our ancestors through on a different level. And they had to stay positive so that we could be here now. Because I was telling her that when she ended up saying something, I was telling her about what I saw on the news, and we'll talk about news later. But a guy, he said, imagine what it would be like if we didn't have social media right now. See, so see, so and that's what made me say, yeah, look at history. You know, we're making history right now because that's the humble connection. And how? By making the choice to find ways to live in harmony rather than focus on and ferment the inconvenience that this pandemic seems to be. See, this is just an inconvenience right now, seemingly, but it seems to be an inconvenience depending on whose message you're using. See, someone else is telling you that you're stuck at home with your kids. Why are you going to listen to what somebody else said about you and your kids? How about you're safe at home with your kids? You know, and lastly, you know, I called one of my mothers, and she said, I said, how you know? Oh, well, I'm stuck in the house. You know what? She's 80-something years old. She's on medication. She doesn't get out. I said, where were you going a couple of months ago? You're not, I said, you're giving me somebody else's message. You're not stuck in the house. You're used to being in the house. What, Deb? What are you holding back?
No, I'm just laughing because, you know, it is the way you look at stuff. I mean, I get that, you know, a lot of people are out of work. There's some real hardships here, okay? And how are you going to approach that hardship? And that's the question, because look at, you know, people who are stuck in the house, they didn't go anywhere anyway. So what's the difference? The difference is they got their choice taken away. Before they could, but here they can't or won't, or however you want to look at it. But, you know, so I don't want to be disrespectful for the real hardships that are going on. The people who can't pay rent, the people who can't, you know, go grocery shopping and stuff. I get that. But how are you going to look at those hardships? How? That's what,
Yeah, and you know what? Like you used our flirty letter a lot there, the letter C. You know, and one of the things that in terms of the biggest choice that we have to make, change. You know,
that's right.
It's change.
That's right.
Yeah, this is a change. And so when you talk about how you're going to look at it, you have to look at this as a change in how you operate.
Absolutely. And you always, there is more than one perspective.
Yes.
People get too attached to their perspective is the only perspective. And it's not. It is a world of infinite possibilities. It is a world of, and I know our next word is healthy. What's the healthiest way people can look at things? There you go.
Go right into it. Go on.
All right. So I was thinking about what is healthy, and I work a lot on mental health, and I share mental health possibilities with other people. And part of mental health is how within yourself, and I'm going to use this word, what environment of hospitality do you have for yourself to be healthy? Is your hospitality within yourself a very, lacking in hospitality? You know, germs and people have to grow in the right conditions? Is it a hospitable condition to be healthy, to grow into a healthy mind? So healthy isn't just eating chocolate. It's not just drinking water. It's not just exercising. It's what kind of hospitable or hospitality in your mind and in your heart are you growing? So if you're constantly going, I suck at this, or I'm not good at this, and I'm this is horrible. That's an H word. I think it's on here. Maybe not.
No, it's not.
Hostile. Is it a hostile environment? So what I'm saying, to be healthy, you have to move from that hostile environment that you create with your thoughts, and you have to move into hospitality. Are you loving yourself? Are you caring about yourself? Are you saying, I need to shut off the news? So I shut off the news to stop being in your own hostile environment. You know nobody's getting along on the news. Right. And get away from that Facebook feed. And if people are not respecting that you don't want to hear hostility, you don't say howdy, you say bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
In fact, have you heard that joke where there was a joke where somebody said, oh, well, it used to be when you sneeze, people would they say, bless you. Now when you sneeze, they say, get the hell away from me.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. People with allergies are going like, it's just allergies.
Yes, yes.
So how can you stay healthy, mentally healthy? So you need to remove yourself from a hostile environment, either one that you're making in your head, or in the hostile environment, physical environment that you're. And how can you provide more hospitality, more loving, more service, more care to yourself and to others? Okay.
Well, I decided with health how we can do that. Well, the 3 words I chose for health were help, hurt, and high. And so the help, so how can we do it? And you touched on it. You have to take care of yourself so that you won't harm those around you. So you got to take care of yourself. And it can be a little uncomfortable because it's one of the times where you'll have to say no to a request. You cannot be all things and do all things for everyone else. You're going to have to say no, because you have to recognize that it may be safer to stay where you are rather than to go out. And that's go out for any reason, whether it's to go shopping, even if it's to go exercising. It may be safer for you to just stay where you are. So so you help by taking care of yourself. And again, you hit on it, physically, mentally, and spiritually. You have to take care of yourself in each round. Okay. And then the hurt feelings right now are pretty tender. Your feelings are pretty tender right now because people are suddenly in space that they hadn't been in before. Sometimes, sometimes going to work or going to school was getting away from your family, getting away from people that you didn't want to be around. You say, well, I only got to deal with these people for X amount of hours, whether it's family, home, or work, or school. So, so people's feelings are pretty tender right now. So I think it's important, more important ever, than to control your vocabulary rather than allowing your vocabulary to control you. Your words are, you always hear me say that, but Zoom conversations, if you're on a Zoom conversation, it's a laser focused conversation right now. See, if we're at work talking, someone may walk by or say, hey, something, you're in a restaurant, a plate may drop, and so your focus shifts. But on a Zoom conversation, Deb is hearing everything I'm saying and I feel about her, and vice versa. And so that's what's going on when you have your Zoom conversation. So prepare for your Zoom conversations. And that, you know, even though, you know, communication, that's part of the change now. You know, so many times, you know, in the past, you'll hear older people saying, you know, oh my God, all this technology, they're just looking at their phones. Well, guess what? Now, instead of beating up technology, you better catch up to that to technology, because you have to now find a way to make technology personal. And it is really about communication. And so you have to choose and prepare your words as if they are feeling, very carefully, because the other person is now really hearing what you say. See, that's the other thing in communication, is sometimes we don't really hear what someone says, you know, so.
Oh, it looks like this.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, when one of the sessions I do with my military group is it's called "Do You Hear What I Mean?" You know, because see, so far you're not, do you hear what I say? Did you hear what I mean? And because that's the difference in communication that we need to be going on right now, is this is a chance for everybody to uplift their communication skills.
Yes.
Yeah. How are you going to look at it?
How are you going to look at it?
Yeah.
How are you going to feel it? How are you going to feel it in your heart?
Yeah. And that moves us right to my third letter in health is high. My third word, high, H-I. And you know, again, this is the other thing that I love about this formula. When you're creating your word bank, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have, the word doesn't have to make sense at all. You know, when I ask for volunteer words in the feed, I just say, just put a word that begins with that letter. Now, I personally, actually, and I laugh to myself, I think that somebody was just saying hi to me on Facebook, and I decided, well, that's the next, the H word is coming up. Yeah,
that's an improv thing. You just take what's given and go with it. Yeah.
In fact, what's the formula in improv? Yes.
I don't know.
It's called yes and.
Oh, yes and. That's right. Say yes to the high. Okay, that is so not a right sentence to use, maybe.
Right. Well, and see, that's why the spelling is important, and the context. Choose your words carefully. Of course, we're talking about
to the high.
I know you're talking about a spiritual high.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay. And ha. All right. So here's what I got for high. Remember, text messages and emails don't have a sarcasm button. There's no sarcasm button. People are being a little more sincere now than they've ever been in their lives in terms of speaking to and valuing one another. So be sure to speak to us and see. And Deb, you know, this is why I love you. It's so good when you can be in sync with someone. When you were talking about hospitality to yourself, listen to what I wrote for high. Be sure to speak to yourself and say hello to God while you're at it. Yeah, hi, God. And then H-I is he is I. Because he says, I am that I am. So he is, hi, he is. And then I have to take care of myself as his child born in H-I, his image. So as you know, using the formula, having like-minded people in your circle that you can connect with when things seem to be going down, because come on, this is real life. This is a roller coaster ride, life. We're gonna have those bad moments. Who you gonna call? Damn sure ain't gonna call Ghostbusters. Okay, so so let me move right into high and let me move into humor. Okay, because humor, I use hello, hospitality, And what was my what were my 3 words? I use hello, hospitality, and what's the other H word was there?
Harmony? Humble? Harmony?
Hostile. Hostile was of the ones that were volunteer. Yeah, we're getting a lot of H words in here. Okay, but I use hello. Now, here's what I use hello. Just like we're talking about in t-shirts, I used to coach community league basketball in Chicago. And what I taught my guys, and I have to be honest, I didn't teach them it, I did it, and then it became a lesson. Whenever someone got a rebound and we had a fast break, I would always say hello, as in look up. You know, so all of my guys, you got used to hearing me say hello, and that meant for them to look up and look for what's going on with their team. So the reason I bring that up, because we use that on a fast break, and here's how I connect it to today. You have to be aware that you're not on this team alone. Look up and see your support. Hello, look up and see your support. And then it takes me to 2 Kings 6. It says, don't be afraid, the prophet answered. Those who are with us are more than those who are with them. And Elisha prayed, oh Lord, open his eyes so that he may see. Then the Lord opened the servant's eyes, and he looked and saw the hills full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. Yeah, so hello, look up. You're not on this team by yourself. You've got resources. You've got people who are there to help you. Oh, I love it. Yes, yes. Oh, we're going to church now.
Amen.
You know, one of my spiritual sisters that I grew up with, she calls me pastor anyway. She says, hey, pastor. Yeah, but yeah, so again, yeah, look up. We've got help. And then hostile. Hostile, why would hostile work into it? Well, because we live into humor. We live in a great country, ladies and gentlemen. We live in a great country and a great world. Right now, we're seeing that the country is attached to the world. We're in a great country and a great world. Now, can you be positive 365, 24/7? No. And I'm not. But I'm positive more than I'm negative. I'm up more than I'm down. I'm going forward more than I'm moving backwards. And there's nothing wrong with, again, controlling your vocabulary and reframing moving backwards into recognizing that every now and then you just have to trust your blessing. Step back and trust the moves that you made. And I consider that trusting your blessing. As you choose your messengers, because we have to choose our messengers carefully. And as you choose your messengers, this is what I mean about hostile. Don't hate the people that you don't choose. If I'm not your messenger, don't hate me. You know, anger is a reactionary emotion. If I can keep you angry, I can control you. So the people who you're not following in the news right now, you know, don't hate them. Recognize that they've made different choices based on the options that were presented them in their life. You hit on it, Deb. There are people who can't go grocery shopping. There are people who are losing jobs. You know, so you know they have different choices right now that they have to make. And so when I take it back to how everybody was all up in arms. Oh, why are they getting 6 big things of toilet paper? You don't know that they're not shopping for 5 neighbors. And so they were getting 6 because they were getting 1 for them and 1 for each of their neighbors, because that way there was 1 person out instead of 6 crowding the store. You just don't know. And it's hard to you know, it's hard to get in to that empathetic and compassionate frame of mind sometimes. So when you get there, like you said earlier, you know what? Be hospitable with yourself. And so now, you know, forgive yourself for going to negative. Now come on back.
That's right.
You know, and is there room in your heart for coming on back? So let me close out my hospitality message. Hospitality means welcoming opposing opinion doesn't mean welcoming them into your home. See, see, even though we have to respect and appreciate opposing opinions, that doesn't mean you bring them into your home. What it means, because what God says, it means appreciating that there's another way and that we can make room for it. In my house, there are many rooms. See, we have to really get connected to the spirituality that you say you have. I heard a person say to me yesterday, he didn't say it to me, or maybe I saw it on the broadcast. He said, it's not about, what did he say? It's not religion. I can't remember it.
I want to say something. People that, at least it's been my observation, you are connected in a way to the spirituality that you judge. So if somebody is not Christian enough for you, or they're too Christian, I'm just going to use opposites.
Whichever.
Part of you sees that. And you ought to be looking in your own house, which is another H word, before you start. In my Father's mansion, there are many rooms, just like you said. And I may not understand, I may not like, and I just might not want to hang out where you're hanging. And that's all right, because I can go to my own room. And people need to go inside to their own room to find their own answers. And then you might be able to find somebody that you can share with. That's the blessing.
And might, and now like I said, control your vocabulary, don't let it control you. Might has another meaning. Might means that there's a chance, but might means that you also have the power.
That's right.
So you have the power to find someone else that you can share your room with. Yeah.
Sporty, they're going to give us our own stage, and we're going to be like evangelists. And I grew up Jewish, and this just is not like, I don't know what room I'm hanging in right now, but I'm sort of comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, get ready to give us your humor, because here's what I got to say about rooms. Some of us need to rename our rooms right now. Okay? The kitchen has to become the restaurant. The bedroom is the hotel. The living room is the fireplace. The playground. The bathroom is the library. And the guest room, no vacancies.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So we have to rename our rooms right now as we share in a different part of our family. Let me say one more thing about the toilet paper thing, by the way, because it's become a great joke. But again, I think the best jokes are the ones that are connected to the truth. See, you tell a joke, and now you sober yourself with the truth, and that's the way that you take the pain out of the
absolutely
joke. And so the other thing about the toilet paper that I wanted to say is that one reason that you see people say, why would people need to stack up on toilet paper? Well, during the day, you usually go to the bathroom at work, at a restaurant, at hotels. So people actually don't necessarily have enough toilet paper in their home. See, again, hard to get compassion when you're angry. So
and I think of all those people that say, I never go in a public place. Maybe they didn't have to buy so much toilet paper because they know what they use. So I just think.
Yeah. So roll us.
Well, I got to tell you, under stress, I go straight to the potty humor and the sexual humor. That's my stress humor. However, I want to talk about what's really important in making a hospitable or hospitality environment is that you don't use hurtful humor.
Yes.
You don't use hostile humor everywhere. You got to know your audience. And if you're constantly seeking out hostile humor, that is going to work on you. I'm not saying hostile humor. Another name for that is called gallows humor. That's a dark humor.
Wow.
And being a hospice nurse for all those years, it was nothing for me. I mean, how did I cope with, you go into one room and you're talking to somebody, then you go in the next room, and the person that you took care of the day before, you have to put that body on a cart now, the person that was talking. Then you go to another one, and they've just been given bad news, or like a death sentence or whatever, and then you comfort them, and then you go and put another body on the cart. Well, your brain, it's like being in a pinball game. And I think about the nurses and doctors in the bigger cities that are dealing with this. They're like in a pinball machine. And you have to come up with some sort of humor. Humor in general will, ideally, all humor lets feelings out.
Yeah.
It's a release. It gives you, so you're not so stiff. Yeah. You don't have a hardening of the attitudes, as they say. So ideally, healthy humor gives you harmony and lets you balance between the uglies of life and the beauty of life. That's what humor can do. And, you know, for me, I had a choice last night. Do I want to be on our church? There's a chanting group, and there's, you know, one type of spirituality, or do I want to call a friend and sing Disney songs?
Wow.
Which way was going to lift me up? And I chose the Disney songs with a friend. It didn't matter that we were a whole sentence off from each other. We're singing, we're following, we're not thinking anything else. And so is that humorous? It was darn funny, you know? And it just made you feel good inside. So whatever humor you choose, you got to be careful you don't overdo it in the hostile humor, and you definitely don't want it to be hurtful to somebody else. Right. I mean, like, seriously, what's the point? And then you want it to be healthy. And how can it be healthy? Because you get that release, you feel integritous, which is the word I'm going to send you for next week. Okay. And that is what humor can do, and what I hope it can do. So instead of, go ahead.
And speaking of that, go on and give a shout out, because how did we meet?
We met, oh yes, and Mary Kay, by the way, wants me to give out another shout. So I'm going to give a shout out to all these groups, okay? Just let me do it, and I'll be done.
Let the sponsorship reel run. Okay.
Yeah, there you go, right on the bottom. So first of all, Association for Applied and Therapeutic Humor. They helped raise me. That's all I got to say. They helped raise me. They taught me.
That's AATH, if you're looking it up on Facebook. AATH.
It's AATH.org. And if you go there, then here's my second shout out for the Humor Academy, where you can become a certified humor professional and really learn both the mind, body, and spirit of, it's right behind you.
Yeah.
There you go. Wait, you move this way. Yeah, there you go. Point to your award. Point to your award. Yeah, point to your other thing. Yeah. Point to your award. Over there. Well, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. There you go. Yeah, they can see that. Perfect. So there's AATH, but wait, I'm not done. So there's the Humor Academy, and it is Humor Month, and that is through World Laughter Tour. Larry Wilde founded Humor Month, and Steve Wilson took that over. So I want to give a shout out to World Laughter Tour. And World Laughter Tour, World Laughter Tour, one of the things that taught me was all about leadership and how to present. See, there you go, World Laughter Tour. Thank you very much. And I know there's laughter yoga out there, and there's lots of other groups, international, what's it called? International.
No shout out if you can't remember it.
I can't remember. So there you go. So, but I want to say these are the groups that helped raise me, for better or for worse. You know, I might be like, you know, a bad stepchild to them. I don't know. But, you know, I love these groups. They're close to my heart. I'm also a CHP like you are, Sporty. CHP standing for Certified Humor Professional. And, you know, that's what I need to say. I also want to say, if people are going through a grieving time, you know, please contact me. Let me help you or get you the help you need, because that's very important. It's hard to not feel hostile sometimes. Different states will be opening up at their discretion. There's going to be a lot of feelings coming up, and a lot of fear and a lot of grief. I suggest people tune into your stuff because it's a more hospitable environment and it's uplifting. So there you go.
Hello. And that, you know, again, that was the fun we used to, that's a hello, and my kids just cracked up laughing about it. You know, I had parents that would come to the game. They said, I came to watch you coach.
Yeah.
Because I got a lot of exercise. So yeah, whatever you're doing with the children, do it with them. You know what? Two wonderful things just happened. One, the things that, as Deb mentioned them, see again, you know, that goes with hello. You're not in this alone. We
That's
have
right.
those connections. I've gotten up my certificates on the wall. And then the second one she had me point to, which is right over my shoulder here, that's the Esther Hyatt, what is it called?
Award.
The Spirit of AATH Award, which I was the first to receive. And in memory of our good friend, Esther Hyatt. There's an H word. And this was a wonderful woman who, when she was coming to our conferences up into her 90s, you know, before she passed. So,
right.
and then Steve Wilson was one of the people who gave me my first shot as a speaker. One of the, you know, first times that I got to travel and have a speaking engagement. And so that was the Trailblazer Award that I earned through his organization. So, you know, yeah, all of those connections, that's what we're saying too. Look back at all of these things that you've done. This is a great time for reminiscing and trusting your track record. You've done a lot of good things. And even as, you know, what you were saying, Deb, I was laughing because, you know, when you talked about whether you would go to sing or go to the church thing, you know, weren't those, again, two tough choices between two good things? And that's right. What we opened up talking about, controlling angels. Our hard choices, ladies and gentlemen, are not between good and evil. Our tough choices are between good and good. And that's the choice. Those are the choices you want to be making right now, is between good and good. Because when we're focusing on the solution, because that's what we're focusing on the solution. And the solution it's going to be some hard choices of, is that the good choice or is that the good choice? And that's what we have to decide right now. Take your time and recognize that you are going to make a good choice, depending on the messengers in your life, where you're getting it from. News is old. News is old. It's like a soap opera. You go from Monday to Friday on a soap opera. On Friday, you look at the story, and the storyline has moved maybe an hour. Okay? And I was telling my sister that the other day, and she said, you could go a year and then come back, and it may have moved a week or a month. That's what the news is right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, and you mentioned it, that don't get stuck on watching the news religiously. I heard my pastor say, Stephen Furtick, he said, I don't watch the news, I keep up with the news. And so there's the difference, is just being aware of what's going on rather than stuck. So I'm glad that Deb and I were here in the Zoom room as we talked about the different rooms that you're going to be. We were in the Zoom room together today, and I'm happy that we brought you a controllable angel of joy. This is a wonderful, controllable angel, and Joy is her middle name. So I cheated. I chose her because her name was Hart, and it was my H day, and the joy that she brings into our life. And so, because it's joy on what? Glue Friday. God's love undoes everything.
Thank you, Sporty.
Thanks so
for
much
having me.
I appreciate it. And ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like a PDF copy of the Controlling Angels poem, just shoot me an email to unclesporty@gmail.com. Again, teachable moment. I may know your email address, and you might throw it in the thread, but I might copy it wrong. You never know. If you send me the email, all I have to do now is hit reply and send you the poem. There may be some kind of security, and I hope you are making sure that your security is right on your email and all your social media right now. And then your email may block me from getting in as an unrecognized address. Whereas if I'm replying to you, your security will let me through automatically. And so it won't look like I stood you up. That's the type of stuff that we have to do right now. And also, there's the chance for me to interact with you and say something powerful and get something powerful from you, because when people bless me, I get to bless the next person. So email me that request. Here in the thread, any words that begin with the letter I that you want to get in Glue Monday's message. Yes, the I, and I go on, in fact, I'll give you a spoiler alert. My message is going to be the eye of the storm. See, now we hear that term, the eye of the storm. The eye of the storm is EYE. It's the part of the storm, it's the center of the storm. It's the strength of the storm. I want you to look at the eye of the storm. What do I have to do in this storm? I'm the strength of this storm. Okay, so that's where my message is going Monday. So you got a spoiler alert. And, because you know what they say, don't tell me about your problems. Let me tell you about my God. Okay. So, so Monday, I'll be using the letter I. If you got a word with the letter I, throw it in there and I'll get it in. Meanwhile, I will make a heartfelt effort to co-author the healthy, humorous message through you on Monday. Meanwhile, have a heavenly weekend. God's love undoes everything. Let's keep it together. God bless you, and thanks again. Ciao.
Ciao.
High fives.
Hello.